our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Mark Anthony Santos. Second referee, Mr. Joffer Educado. Let's welcome our starting lineup from the Navigators, Iloilo. Let's begin with their team captain and setter. He wears jersey number 6, John Michael Apolinario. At number 3, Renz Angelo Engay. Wearing jersey number 7, JV Sumagaysay. At number 11, Paolo Gabriel Doranila. Number 13, Edward Camposano. And number 14, Abdurrasad Nursidik. Starting libero is number 1, Rick Adao. Head coach, Mr. Rizalito, Coach Boyet Del Moro. Calling on our PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Let's begin with their team captain, who wears jersey number 16, Seaman Second Class Greg Dolor. At number 9, Louis Podadera. Wearing jersey number 11, Seaman Second Class Omar Liok. At number 15, Seaman Second Class Peter Kiel. Number 17, Seaman First Class Wilbert Sapida. And at number 18, Seaman Second Class Joven de la Vega. Starting libero is number 13, Seaman Second Class Jack Kalingking. Head coach, Mr. George Pasqua. This is match number 43, game 1 of the finals. Battle for the bronze.
This is the battle for bronze for the Navigators Iloilo and PGJC Navy. It is a best-of-3 series, but we will also follow what would happen in the championship series. So the mindset should be just win it if you're Navy and Navi here in the battle for third. And the Navigators will have a bigger challenge because they do not have Francis Saura in this game because of a knee injury that he suffered late in their previous game versus the Sea Lions. And we're also seeing Toto De Pedro at the bench right now. It's Paolo Doronila getting the start for the Blue Shirts alongside Renz Engay.
I like that, Navy versus Navi.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it has confused me a lot of times, but we're getting used to it as Navy got the first point in this game.
Well, if you look at both the teams' lineups, the starting lineups, I would say Navy would have the advantage coming into this first set because they're so used to the 6 playing together,
yes,
while the Navi...
you're getting used to it.
The Navigators, they have to make do without Saura, who was obviously a very important component to their starting 6.
It's Saura who usually attacks from the right. That time around, it was Wawa, Edward Camposano, who just scored. Service inside. Back-to-back points for the former Navy Sea Lion.
Well, you know what, for me, we expect this game because both have nothing to lose. Actually, because you're done with the semis, you missed your chance to make to the final, especially the Navigators. We talked about how painful the end to their semis run was. So right now, we expect it to be a good game, a nice long game.
Well, that was way under for Toto De La Vega on his previous attack. The ball sailed absolutely long, and so we have another serve for Wawa Camposano. I mentioned he was feeling sick in the preliminaries versus Navy, had tummy problems. Now he's good to go. Lefty hit, nice block by Doronila.
Wow, that's a solo block. Great read.
Paolo Doronila wasn't even in the lineup in the previous game, and now he's getting the start.
Well, you make do with what you have. The Navigators, they're obviously short a couple of men.
Oh, service error for Edward Camposano. Now, we do know what happened to Francis Saura, but I wonder what's going on with Toto De Pedro. And let's see if Mika Abisamis can help us with that later on.
Well, it's also, for me, it could be an opportunity for the Navigators to actually use some of their bench players. You know, they've been the core or the six have worked so hard throughout the conference and the semis, and then the injuries. So right now it would be a good time to play your bench.
Now is also a good time to get a block. And that was Toto de la Vega using his height at the right pin. That is one of the best things about having a tall opposite spiker, which was the case for Francis Saura. For the Navigators Iloilo, now they have a smaller opposite spiker in Renz Engay. Chance ball, Kalingking. Now it's Dolor attacking from the left. That's dug up by Apolinario. Set up for Renz Engay. No point. Good rally. Longest so far. Dolor cross court. Yes.
I would say for PGJC Navy, this is their strongest front line in Greg Dolor, Peter Kell, and Toto de la Vega.
Oh, yes.
So you want to take advantage of this rotation. Get your serves in, and let the three just do their thing.
By the way, Peter Kell has been absolutely amazing in this conference for PGJC Navy, giving us some flashes of his FEU self. Now it's an ace for Omar Leoc.
Well, I think they jive well with Coach George. That's what you can say. Not to take anything away from the previous regime. Nandiyan pa rin. But I think they blend well with Coach George. You can see in their game this conference.
And remember, in the PNVF tournament, Navy had problems. And so with Coach George at the helm, for him to maneuver like this quickly with the Sea Lions, it's really impressive because we always say it takes almost half a year to establish your system and culture.
Right.
Dolor off the block.
I think that's a great set. That's a great set because you did mention Engay is actually a smaller opposite hitter. So yeah, Greg Dolor wants to take advantage of that. But he can jump.
Yes.
Wow, that slow-mo. I wanted to shut up.
It has to be better timing though for Renz Engay moving forward as he tries to counter Greg Dolor and even Omar Leoc. Omar now serves, ball up by Camposano. Apolinario pushes to the left. Cross court hit, dug up by Kalingking. Dolor again, under.
Ball is down.
You're actually surprised that he did not go down the line because we did say Engay was a shorter blocker. But that's how confident he is.
Yes.
Talking about Greg Dolor.
And do you think it could be his way of confusing the blockers?
Could be. I mean, from the start, that's what he wants to show them. I'm going to go cross, and then later on, go down.
Dolor.
No.
Cross again. Mababa.
Denied.
Now we have a challenge. Coach George wants a net touch. Okay. Not a block touch, but a net touch.
Number 3, net fault.
Yeah, because the ball actually did land inside the court of Navy.
Tapos na rin.
So, yeah, it should be a net touch.
First challenge in the Battle for Bronze series. So to clear everything out, we did get confirmation from Ms. Ada Carlos Bayuga, our executive producer, that if this series extends, but the championship series won't extend, then we won't have a Game 3 anymore for Navy and Navi. We'll just resort to the point system. Net touch or not?
Looks clean.
Yeah.
Looks all ball.
Well, the power was there from Greg Dolor. That's why on the rebound, the net absolutely moved off of the ball, hitting it. So it's now 6-all. One more look. Yeah, that was clean.
Yeah, it's very clean. But I like talking about, remember we talked about Navy playing the spoilers role. So case in point. We also always say athletes, they don't like to lose. Even if it's not, they're out of the run, the finals berth. They've played their hearts out. Talking about Navy, they were down 2 sets and everybody thought, Navigators straight to the finals. But no, Navy just didn't want to lose.
Right.
Perfect example.
Actually, the same happened for Crisscross versus Signal.
Yeah.
A reverse sweep. Now, there's a net touch by Doronila. On the attempt by Toto de la Vega. Good to see him celebrating like that. He's usually very soft-spoken. Ngayon talaga pag bakulod nun. Service in. 7-all. Polinario, back set. Engay. Outside.
Yeah. We saw that contact was pretty flat.
Okay, that will send us to our first technical timeout, 8-7.
Back at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum for your Spikers Turf 2024. Coach Boyet Del Moro was obviously devastated after that semis match against Navy. Sabi niya, kinulang talaga kami, kinapos. Hindi talaga namin kinaya hanggang dulo. He said, sa nakita ko sa Navy, nabigyan sila ng kumpiyansa after the second set. Ang dami namin errors. They took that as chances to add up to their confidence cup. For today, he reminded the boys to focus on defense. Sa blockings, kailangan wala talagang makapasok at wag maglagay ng space. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, no Francis Saura. He's not playing due to a knee injury. They're hoping he could be better on Friday. But Sir Mike Sabichana said, alam mo, baka hindi pa talaga namin time for the finals. We lost after the second set. Chris Cross made it to 5 sets against Signal. Francis Saura is injured. I will find more material so we don't have to be in this position again. And as for Toto de Pedro Migs, I asked him, sabi ko, bakit hindi ka nag-start? Sabi niya, okay lang wala ako sa start. Basta ako ang mag-end. Charot. And yes, he told me to mention that word, Migs, Mr. Reed.
Okay, amazing. Thank you, Mika, for that information. That's why we use her. We use her from the sideline. Hindi talaga mawala yun. As now we just got to see an attack from Paolo Doronila. But Mika mentioned the process for the Navigators Iloilo. It may not be their time as of yet. First of all, that's good recognition from their squad. They are a young franchise after all in Philippine volleyball. But then again, Noreen, we continue to see their development. And maybe in the next conferences, if they can get to that level of crisscross and signal, same goes for PGJC Navy. Can you just imagine the competition that we would have in the Spikers
That'd
turf?
be really fun conference. But yeah, I mean, take the positives. The Navigators and Navy, what a conference they've had.
Oh, yes.
Right? I mean, upset crisscross. The Navi upset crisscross. That is huge already for them. And with Mark Espejo playing.
Tama.
So for them, okay, how can we get better for the next and succeeding conferences?
That being said, we'd like to give a big shout out as well to the other 5 teams in this league, as Omar Leoc just gave us hammer. And I'd like to isolate Savage. Savage almost made it as well in our final 4. So that's another team to watch out for. Now we listen into this timeout.
Maiwan yung katawan mo kasi kasi pagka sumunod ka, andito ang bola niya. Ha? Okay, dahan-dahan guys. Dahan-dahan tayo, ha?
Basahan nyo lang.
Kapit lang tayo, kapit lang.
Basta ka? Okay, dalawa lang yan ha.
Dalawa lang.
Tang, ready, tang. Go.
There's Francis Saura. He has a knee injury. That's why he's unable to play in this game. Ayan, nahanap niya ng ating cameraman. After all, he was #1 in scoring in the preliminaries, leading the whole league. And behind him are JP Bugawan and company for Signal HD. They will be in action later on versus Chris Cross in game #1 of the finals. Apolinario, Nursidik, that was low.
Well, also you have to credit the blocking of PGJC Navy. Look at that, outstretched arms.
So that was Wilbert Sapida.
Yeah.
Not the tallest of middle blockers, but he's good to go from there. Tough receive for Rick Adao. Camposano. Cross, good read by Jacqueline King.
Yeah, I ricocheted off the net. Yeah, but we wish Francis Saura well, because what a conference also he has had.
Yes.
Right? I mean, from him, the transition from being a middle blocker to an opposite, it was like made in heaven. It's like everyone said, why did you actually even start as a middle blocker?
But now you think about it, give him more time as an opposite spiker. The sky is the ceiling for Francis Saura. Same goes for this guy, Greg Dolor, who just gave us a service ace.
He's not slowing down a bit. No, but what I like about Saura's switching positions, he can be in the national team, right?
Tama.
And he's a very tall opposite hitter, so I mean that could be a great addition.
Ganda nun, wing spikers natin, Bagunas, Espejo, Saura. Ang lalaki nun. And by the way, we're gonna compete in the World Championships,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Next year, so watch out for that. In the meantime, let's continue enjoying the Spikers turf. Nursidik serves that ball in. The target was Greg Dolor. Nice approach. The tip. That didn't work for Liok, but there was a miscue on the other side.
Well, that hurts, because it was a good effort to keep it alive. But then you see that the communication, that problem, because you said, what's his name, Doronila?
Doronila, yes.
Doronila. He doesn't really start, so there's still that comfort.
Kulang pa sa chemistry.
Oo.
Nice block by Navy. Doronila sends it to the left. Recalculation made by Camposano. Counter. Peter Kiel got a touch. Somebody touched the net as well.
Yeah, I think they call it on JV Sukumagaysay.
Now we have a 6-point advantage for the Sea Lions as we head on to our second technical timeout. Awesome live sports viewing is guaranteed with Signal. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Switch now and get up to 3 months with no cash out. Visit www.signal.tv/switch for more details. 16-10. Engay, nice push.
I'm really impressed. You know, it's not the first time we're seeing Engay play, but again, it's like he's reminding us, this is what I can do. I'm one of those not so tall players that can elevate and can actually hit strong hits as well.
And he seems to be fast as well.
Oh, yeah.
16-11. Oh, Omar Leo. Now, this guy was a big-time answer for Coach George Pascua, because in the PNVF, the question was who would be the third wing spiker for Navy. Remember that, Darren? And he's been consistent in their starting front.
Yeah, him and Sapida, I would say also. They've improved so much this conference.
Apolinario, combination play. Good timing by Navy. Camposano. Whistle blown. 4 touches, apparently.
Coach George was already ready to scream if the first referee didn't call that.
So he's able to calm down again. Coach George Pascua, who's so used to using up challenges. After all, he's coaching on almost all levels.
Yes.
So Magaysay, not the best of sets, but it still worked.
Again, we always say, you know, when the ball leaves the setter's hands, it's actually your responsibility as a hitter to do something about it, about the set. Low, high, you know, you have to make the adjustment.
12 serving 18. Navi looking for a comeback. De La Vega, that was a touch. Yeah.
Now, he targeted the high hands, obviously.
Toto De La Vega is one of the proud products of University of St. La Salle in Bacolod. He actually has a junior in this team in their center. That is Louis Podadera. Tinanong ko si Louis, where does Toto de la Vega rank among the greatest of all time in USLS players? Sabi niya top 10 yan. Tinanong ko, who's the greatest? And he said, and Toto also said the same thing, Rosa Inaudito, the kuya of Ruben Inaudito. He's the greatest University of St. LaSalle player of all time. And that is a common understanding among them.
We didn't get to see him.
Oo nga, ako rin eh. Sayang. But we have been seeing this guy, JP Sumagaysay, for almost a decade now.
Yeah, well, he has to step up here.
Speaking of stepping up, nag-step up din yung net as he aided JP Sumagaysay for that ace.
Yeah, and for the Navigators, Dayan Dante also in.
Well, that's a veteran for you. From National University, Mr. C by Omar Liok. Greg Dolor, 3 blockers. Ball returned. Chance ball. Louis with a lot of time. Dolor. Good coverage by Jack Kalingking. Push to the right. De La Vega got a hand and a miscue.
Well, you like the way they're moving the ball and moving the defense of the Navigators.
Dikit nyo lang. Dikit lang. Trabahuhin pa.
Nice effort.
Saka mag-usap-usap kayo sa loob. Mag-usap-usap lang.
Guys, punto, singay lang ha.
Isa-isa, guys. Isa-isa.
May attempt
Layo
tayo
pa
sa
yan.
bola, usap lang tayo. Nangyayari, bumabagsak yung bola eh. Hindi natin na-attempt. Good luck.
Masyado pang maaga ha.
Try.
Ikaw kaya niya.
Namumula yung ilong ni Kim Dayandante after crashing onto Wawa Campusano. It's really red. But good thing is it's not bleeding. And remember, just last week we saw that collision between Mark Calado and EJ
I
Casanya.
didn't see that.
Sa ano yun, warm-up. Warm-up nangyari. That's why those two weren't able to play in their game versus Iloilo the Navigators. I did read though in an article that they're set to return for the finals.
I heard that Mark Calado was a fracture.
Oh yes, dislocated nose. And then Casanya had a problem with his head. He was seeing stars off of that collision. As now, we just saw an attack from Iloilo. And they would get the point.
Yeah.
It's Edward Campusano.
Yeah, we did talk about him at the top of the coverage. And, you know, you talked about veterans. So him, and Sumagaysay, they really have to try to bring the team back. They're down by 7.
Long way to go, but still very much possible. Let's see the previous play. Ayan, isa mong sinasabing most improved.
Yes.
Sapida.
How I wish there's that award, no? Most improved.
Ang ganda nun. Oo nga, wala kang ganun. Most improved.
Yeah.
Kung meron nga sanang magic bunot eh. Kasi sa basketball, 6th man of the year ang tawag eh.
Yeah.
You know what I would like? As Sapida scores in the middle, I'd like to see a libero win an MVP award.
It's very hard.
Yeah. Finals MVP kaya pa.
Yeah, because stats one, it's based on stats when you give out the MVP. So you have to be like top 10 or topping certain categories. Categories plural, can't be just one.
Campusano got a hand. A chance to counter. Podadera combination. Whistle blown. Net touch again. You have 8 set points.
Well, slowly but surely, you can actually feel the impact of the errors of the Navigators, right? The net faults. How many net faults do they have this set alone?
We'll see the numbers later on before we begin set number 2. Greg Dolor, signature jump serve straight to the net. They do have a good cushion though.
You know, Greg Dolor, knock on wood 3 times.
Narinig kaya nila yun?
No, it's he's one of those who actually took care, and I would say probably also lucky that, you know, he's been good to play.
Oh yeah, he's been healthy.
Right? I
Sa
wanted
lagay na
to say
yan.
that, pero I already am talking about that thing. So, don't jinx.
Well, especially for a high flyer. You gotta take care of your knees among other parts of your body. And speaking of high flyers, it's Omar Leoc who will end set number 1 in favor of the Navy Sea Lions, 25-17.
And longer than at last, I'll be by your side. Jopay. Alis tayo sa tunay na mundo.
Again, a big shout out to our production team. That has got to be one of the best features I've ever witnessed covering sports in the Philippines. Greg Dolor, medyo namula ang ilong after hearing himself here inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Buti nga hindi nadidistract yung mga players natin with those features. But now, we get to see our highlights in set number 1. It was a calm-looking set for the Sea Lions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we did say after that previous match wherein Navy defeated the Navigators in 5 sets, we kind of felt that Navy with the same 6 has the advantage. And they showed us in the first set that they're just playing their game, you know. Not the greatest, but still just enough to pull away towards the latter part. You can see attacks. That's great setting by Podadera. Really great setting, giving everyone an opportunity to actually score. We saw that. Everything else is actually pretty even, you know, even the errors. But the errors, I would say, remember before the end of the first set, is the impact because the Navigators, you can't seem to convert. We saw just 7 attacks, so you cannot afford the errors that you're committing, the net violations and so.
Now, Toto De Pedro is in the game for the first time. He did say na siya magtatapos ng game na to. Charot.
Charot.
That's the quote from Mika Abisamis. Chance ball. Not a time. Dayan Dante. Sumagaysay. No point. Good chase by Kalingking. De La Vega. Low.
You know, and to think Navy had 14 attacks. De La Vega was actually pretty silent or pretty quiet in the first set. It was people like Leoc stepping up to the plate. So that's why I'm saying that this match, really, both teams trying to give opportunity to the others to score.
Can you imagine if Omar Leoc can actually continue to develop? If he can reach the level of this guy, Joven De La Vega, and Greg Dolor, then that trio of wing spikers would be very deadly for Navy.
Yeah. Then they would be contenders.
There's Toto De La Vega. Mukhang narinig si Loringo.
And back to the strong front row of PGJC Navy.
That's De La Vega, Peter Kiel, and Greg Dolor. On the other hand, we saw a strong hit by JV Sumagaysay.
Yeah, finally he gets a good set, you know, and in that follow through and that sound so crisp.
Yes. So it's now 2-1. The Navigators with the serve. Short ball. Ooh! Counter from the middle. That's by Peter Kiel. It did not work. One more. Greg Delor blocked. That's signature. JB Sumagaysay.
Well, we did say, they have to play big today because they're down a couple of men. And so far in the second set, Sumagaysay has woke up, awakened from his slumber.
Ayun. Past participle.
Oo nga eh. Woke up eh, no?
Nice block. Unfortunately, that sailed outside for Toto De Pedro.
I remember conferences ago when the first time I got to meet Toto De Pedro. No? During warm-ups, I was going to leave na. I'm done with the first game. He was downstairs doing wind sprints. What are you?
Wind sprints?
Wind sprints. Look, what are you doing here? I need warm environment to warm up.
Nalalamigan siya sa Metro Manila.
Yeah, but that was before this heat wave naman, no? But that time, he was alone there in the parking area in Paco pa that time.
Mainit na nga rin sa Paco if you think about it. Relatively speaking, wala po tayong reklamo sa arena na yun. It's been the home for the longest time for the Spikers turf as Greg Delor sent that ball outside. But yeah, for Toto De Pedro to do sprints before a game,
He was alone.
maybe it's just hotter in Bacolod,
I don't know.
where he comes from. Service in, Kalingking will push to the left. Greg Delor blocked. And that drops. Was it Nursidik? Yes, it was. And let me tell you, before this game, I had a conversation with him because he had 5 blocks in the previous game. Sabi ko, paano mo nagagawa yan? And he said, may target ako 10 blocks per game. 10 ang numero para kay Rash Nursidik. And he said, he looks up to JP Bugawan. Yun ang standard niya. Kung kaya niya maging kasing galing or kahit mas magaling pa kay JP Bugawan, he would gladly take it. Good rally here. Nursidik. That's a point for him.
Oh, what a second set here for the Navigators. So you love the addition of Toto De Pedro.
Yeah. I wonder if he did his sprints as well here, just outside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum.
Compliant na lang tayo sa ginagawa natin eh. Di ba pagka galing sa base, cover tayo saan pa dapat? Di ba? Pag ito pumali, ito kumuha ng bola, saan ka? Bakit? Hindi pa gumagalaw yung kalaban para hindi kayo gumalaw dyan? Nagiging ano na kayo eh. Tama na ba yung percent sa inyo? Bumalik kayo kung saan kayo. Bumalik kayo sa base kung saan kayo.
There you go. Sense of urgency coming from Coach George Pascua. After all, these two teams, in the 2 times that they have faced each other in this conference, they both reached 5 sets.
No, but he's right. I like that. Tama na yung first set sa inyo because they obviously relaxed and, their game slowed down by a lot.
De La Vega, that's dug up by Camposano. Dayan Dante going to the right. Engay, touch or not? Yes. Check ball. And Toto De Pedro is enjoying it. 8-2, technical timeout.
back at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum for your Spiker Surf 2024, and the Stars of Navy just couldn't make it work in the semis match against Iloilo until after the second set nung kinausap ni Greg Dolor ang teammates niya. Nagising sila at tinapos na nila. They need to communicate more in this match kasi ang gulo daw nila pag hindi. They won in attack, so communication would really be key as to the organization of those attacks. And like I mentioned earlier, Greg talked to his teammates. Sabi niya, nothing to lose na tayo. Isipin nyo na lang ensayo to, tune-up game at importante mag-enjoy. So there you have it. They got that match. Nangingibabaw daw talaga ang teamwork more than anything. They have more work in the next 2 days, but Greg cannot help but be excited to go home to his hometown in Pangasinan to congratulate his former high school champs, Umingan Pangasinan, for their championship. He goes home once in a while to inspire the boys. Miss Noreen.
Well, na-miss na rin kanina ni Mika. Sorry, I cannot get over that quickly. But yeah, Umingan Pangasinan won the PNBF Under-18 Championships. They do have good products. Ayan, si Greg Dolor, yung Bugawan brothers are also from that program. And boy, have they definitely impressed us. But back to this game. In terms of waking up, that's what Coach George tried to do in their previous huddle.
Yeah.
And let's see if they can continue after scoring. Unfortunately, that's a service error.
Well, back-to-back service errors. One from De La Vega, now from Dolor. And we did say, these are the players. We always talk about them throughout the conference. These are the players that the others look up to. So you don't want to be, you're down. You don't want to be committing these errors.
It's now 10-4. Toto De Pedro, short serve. Pudadera to the left. Nice block. Rashnur Siddiq. We're going to have to start counting his blocks in this game.
Yeah. Well, that's what actually started this run by the Navigators. They're blocking.
11-4, Toto De Pedro. He's been a game changer so far. Pudadera back sets. Red play. That's long for Toto De La Vega.
Can't seem to get going here in the second set.
12-4. Wow. This is the biggest separation for the Navigators Iloilo. Now we have a double sub. Jairami and Villanueva in for Pudadera and De La Vega.
Well, we've seen this double substitution a lot of times. I think it's a great substitution because, Coach George, he's in it to win it. Yeah, you mentioned that he's a busy man.
Oh, yes.
Coaches a lot of organizations, so he wants to win it. So if you find something wrong, you try to correct it.
Well, that was correct for Sapida getting the attack, and the point for PGJC Navy. And you did mention at the top of our coverage, these two teams are battling for medals. Yung matatalo, wala kang maiuwi. Wala kang hardware at all.
And right, I always like to say it's better to go back to your school or let's say your organization with, hey, we got bronze medal.
Yeah.
And what happened? No, we got number 4. Diba? That's it. Nothing.
There's Rashnur Siddiq.
May trophy din, right?
Tama, meron. You can add that to your resume. 13-5. Siddiq serves it in. Dolor receives. Jairami to the quick. And there you go. It's Peter Kiel.
Yeah, that's a better connection. One of the better sets to Peter Kiel today. And you mentioned it was Jairami.
Peter Kiel told me that there was a big transition coming from serving the military. Kasi kalahating taon ka na, iba yung focus mo, wala ka sa volleyball. So medyo may unting kalawang. He's getting back to his old form though. Just waiting and giving him more time. Peter Kiel could not save that ball. That's a point for Edward Camposano.
Just smartly pushes that through. You have to see this. Just pushes it.
Now we have Jepoy Alicando checking in for Peter Kiel. 14-6. Full front line for Kim Dayandante. Ooh, that was really short. Jairami to the quick tip. Takeda keeping it alive. Counter with JV. No look at that. Then he scores.
Well, the second set really shows us now you cannot relax it. All these men, they want to win it. So you relax a bit. Oh, we're down 2 men. We're down Francis Saurap. They're going to take advantage.
Substitutions keep on happening for Coach George Pascua. Now we have John Ashley Jacob inside. I'm trying to see if this is their complete second unit. Yes, all of these players right now for Navy have come off the bench except for Jacqueline King. Jairami backsets. Villanueva stopped at the net. The Andante recalculating. That's a point off the block for Renz Engay.
Block is down.
Everything going right for the Navigators.
Toto De Pedro, keep it coming with his celebrations. 16-6. Arena Plus, Astig's Sports. Here coming back to you live from the home of our national athletes, the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Some people are anticipating Signal versus Crisscross. That will be the battle for the championship. Game 1 happening later on, but now it's the battle for bronze. Navy versus Navi. Ball up for Navi. That's Camposano. Sharp target. It works for him.
I think right, we were saying everything going right for the Navigators because that was off the net, but it still touched a Navy hand. So things looking good for the Navigators.
There you go. Edward Camposano feeling it. Celebrating with John Maru Takeda, their libero on the floor. Now the double sub is back in. Louis Putadera and Toto De La Vega, the Bacolodnon duo for PGJC Navy. Ball up by Jack. Louis pushes to Joven. Toto couldn't score. Tough dig for Takeda. Counter with Wawa. Camposano off speed. Putadera to the middle. That was under for Jepoy Alicando.
No, you have the right thing in mind, just the execution too strong there.
Quick timeout for Coach George Pascua.
Tandaan nyo, just in case nagkaroon ng quotient, pag mababa yung score natin, possible matalo pa tayo. Ano bang ginagawa ninyo? Ano bang may problema? Gusto nyo manalo, sinasabi niya, pwede nyo yung trabaho. Hindi ba pwedeng trabaho nyo muna? Bakit? Enough na ba yung per set sa inyo? Tama na ba yun para sa inyo? Lumaban kayo!
Okay, Noreen, please refresh everybody as to how important the quotient rule is, especially in the battle for bronze.
Well, if the battle for bronze, no, let's say they end up 1-1. And then the finals is done in 2 games. So it will be based on quotient system. So you check the numbers or the points garnered after the 2 games. So it's really based on the numbers, the scores, you know. So that's what Coach George is saying. If we do have to go through a quotient system to break up a tie, let's say, we may lose.
Yes.
You know, he's just reminding them that let's bring home the bronze.
Ooh, service error for the Sea Lions. That's Omar Liok. So it's now 19-7. Quotient not looking good so far in this set for Navy.
Yeah, but not to take anything away from the Navigators. You know how they started? The blocking just worked wonders for them. Finally off the hands. But that started it all. They started pulling away, and then error in PGJC Navy, then block. You know, they worked hard also to build this 11-point lead.
Off of that touch by Navi, it's now 19-8. We have Alicando at the service line. The middle blocker for Navy will send it in. Adao receives. Sumagaysay attacks and scores.
Boy, he's feeling it here in the second set.
JV Sumagaysay is the second ultimate veteran of the Navigators Iloilo, which only means he's the second oldest. But then again, he has taken leadership duties for this squad. Mabot nga raw siya sa point na natatanggap niya na that he's up there in terms of age, and so transitioning to the new generation is also a bit of a motivation for him, as now Navy just got its counter from the middle as well.
Finally. And if you're PGJC Navy, what you want, like I always say, if you go on to lose this second set because you're down by 11, at least make a run. Build something going to the next set.
Rash Nursidik has a different idea. Gusto niya piso-piso. Because after all, they're up by 21-9. Nursidik channeling his inner JP Bugawan.
Yeah, you know what I love about Nursidik, really? He was raw talent coming into this conference. We knew he had talent, but because he was playing against the likes of already Brian Bagunas, Marcus Peo, you know, he had to find a way somehow
to keep up.
You know, and increase the level of his game. And I think he has done that, and he can only get better.
Definitely. It's Toto De Pedro, the other homegrown of Iloilo, the Navigators, who couldn't score. Oh, a miss set by Kim Dayantante, and there was an overreach.
Illegal back row attack.
Over attack for the Navigators Iloilo.
Called on the Navigators.
No slow-mo.
Wala. Let's just move on. 21-11. Service in. De Pedro receives. Toto will attack. No point. Counter. Louis to the middle. Ooh. Missed touch by Nursidik. Ball to the sky. A lot of time. Kalingking. Pudadera. Red play. Toto de la Vega inside.
Well, it wasn't the cleanest of hits, you know. We didn't hear a really strong contact with the ball, but it did its job, and he gets a point finally for Toto de la Vega.
21-12. Navy trying to pull off a big-time comeback here in set number 2. If not, just raise your score for the quotient.
Yes.
Dayandante, back set, red on the other end. It's long for Engay, no touch. Coach Boyet will ask for a timeout.
The Navigators score 21. Iloilo 13. Sea Lions.
Pagka binigay siya, tiin mo. Huwag mong patamain dito. Please, sa dalawang block.
Eh, wag na natin
Kasi ibabaw ka naman eh.
Huwag natin paabutin ng 20.
Ibabaw ka. Please, dito sa dalawang block eh. Or hulog mo na lang doon sa gitna. Bawi lang tayo, bawi lang. Tuloy lang.
Tuloy lang, ha?
Dahan-dahan lang.
Wait. Gusto mo gumalaw? Sige pa din.
Sige, gano'n na lang. Pagkakalawin ka na lang.
Toto De Pedro actually continues to adjust in terms of his attacking here in the Spikers turf. Wala siyang problema sa floor defense niya. Pero yung atake kasi, syempre, yung mga kalaro mo, mas systematized na dito sa ligang ito. That's why he has to be more creative with his movements and his targets. Let's see if he can adjust. Sapita almost scored. That's Camposano with the save. De Pedro dug up. Good defense by Omar Leoc. Back row. No point from the pipe. De Pedro again. Dug back. Nice rally.
Yeah.
Chance ball. Dayandante. Pipe. Camposano puts it away.
Off the handoff.
That was the longest rally. That's a better rally so far this set.
Just great activity from our players, especially with their floor defense. It's now 22 serving 13. Bakulod nun. Toto De Pedro will now do the honors. Attack points, 24-17 in this game. Ooh, a scramble off of the serve.
23.
Yeah, Mr. C, we always like to call it. But, you know, now also, when you look at the second set, it's also a good example of when a coach tells you, wag mo na buhayin, you know, your kalaban. Because after the first set, we saw they had the advantage, had the momentum. But then they played slow here in the second set. now that they're trying to chase, no matter what they do, the Navigators nabuhayan na.
Exactly.
Right?
Let's hope that it's not too late for Navy to try to turn things around. They did score from the middle. Proper substitution here for Alicando, replacing Jack Kalingking. Middle blocker for Libero, 23-14. Wilbert Sapida, 7 points to his name. Easy receive for Rick Adao. Dayan Dante, that was short.
Dayan Dante.
Pinag-react dito sa likod. It was a funny reaction.
He can afford. They can afford this error.
And it almost made it. 15-23. We did hear from the huddle, wag natin paabuti ng 20. Ang PGJC Navy. Scramble, chance ball. Dayan Dante, Nursidik, quick attack.
Through the block.
You said it, quick, because he really just used speed there. But what effort.
Yeah, pancake save. That was by Jacob. And then, on the other end, there you go. Good recognition by Nursidik, who now just served the ball straight to the net.
That is one part of his game he wants to really improve on, his serving. Throughout the conference, we've seen him struggle in serves.
Still, 8 set points, 24-16. Adao receives, Dayan Dante, slide, JV, coverage present. Good effort by Rick. They push to the left. Camposano, dip. And Camposano was laughing already. There was a net touch. And so that's it for set number 2. What a turnaround.
Yeah, what a comeback by the Navigators. You know, again, they don't want to lose no matter what.
Okay, 1 set apiece. Quite characteristic for these two teams when they battle it out in the Spikers turf. We'll be back for set number 3.
Ako sa'yo, kala ko'y pag-ibig mo ay tunay, pero hindi nagtagal, lumabas din ang tunay na kulay.
Ito din title Stupid Love. Iyon, Stupid Love. Love, fresh as the morning air. Stupid Love.
Maulan ba sa inyo pag bumubuhos dito?
Ako, parinig ni Manila. Kamusta ka na kahit wag nang sagutin, ilawan na wala. Okay na.
Gusto ko next conference may kasama na ring dance moves sa mga music natin. Tingnan natin kung kaya yan gawin ng ating production team. But big shout out to them for making it all happen for the Spikers Turf Open Conference. Now we shall break down set number 2, a complete turnaround for the Navigators Iloilo. Noreen, or Miss Noreen, how would you explain it to us?
Well, you know, we have to say Navy, after winning the first set, had a very flat start, very slow start, and they couldn't recover. You know, the Navigators just took from that, started their net defense, and from their blocks, they just didn't look back. We have to say, let's look at some numbers. Attacks.
Wow.
They out-attacked Navy. Remember, they only had 7 in set number 1. They almost doubled it. The blocking, the 4 blocks, that was huge because that actually started, I kept saying, started the run of the Navigators. And they never looked back. They even had one service ace there. So all numbers actually pointing to a D Navigators win, even the errors.
After all, the Navigators were number 2 in blocking in the preliminaries, just behind the crisscross king crunchers. Let's see if Greg Delor can wake his teammates up, which was the case in their previous game, as reported by Mika Abesamis. Mika is our courtside for today. We have Miss Noreen Go as our analyst. My name is Migs Gomez. This is game number 1 for the battle for bronze. Navy versus Navi.
Well, back to square one.
Yes.
1-1. And it's just, if you talk about quotient, it's actually just a 1 point difference.
Yes.
17 and 16.
Oh, I like that you pointed that out. Now, there's a net touch mistake committed by JV Sumagaysay, who demoed to us how he tried to hop back, but it was quite too late.
Well, he was successful in terms of net defense in the second set, so he just wanted to start a good, blocking spree again here in the third set.
Good effort by Pudadera. And now this is a chance ball. JV, Kim, combination. Camposano just wished that he could fly on that play.
He wished he could stay in the air for a bit longer. The effort is there. Look at that. No!
Di na umabot. Sayang.
Gravity. He could not defy gravity.
Right. Dayan Dante. Oh, no more touch. And it's a point for the Navigators Iloilo. Would you actually credit that point to the receiver?
Credit that point to Kim Dayandante because he faked that. And normally, that actually, if you're the blocker, you think because you don't want to be caught overreaching, then sometimes you forget.
Peter Kiel, pambawi agad.
Yeah. Pawe is the term.
This is the guy who has benefited the most in having Coach George Pasqua as his head coach. After all, Coach George was the middle blocker back in his day.
FEU also.
Homer Leok has 5 points to his name. Service in. Sumagaysay. Middle blocker versus middle blocker.
That's going to be the theme of today's game. Sumagaysay against Kiel.
Quite ironic because our Pilipinas Live poll question is about outside spikers. But if you are watching, might as well give us a good discussion as well between the middle blockers at the comment section. As now, there you go. The theme continues.
Again.
It's Peter Kiel getting some retribution.
And I think they've played against each other. I think they're of the same
Batch?
If not nagkaabot.
Oo.
The Kiel
Most
and
likely
Sumagaysay.
nagkaabot talaga as Engay just hit down the line again. We've been seeing his prowess from the right pin. Hindi nga ganun ka katangkaran pero talented naman.
Yeah.
Actually, itong si Engay, nagsimula yan outside spiker. Tapos naging libero pa yan at some point. They did tell me that this is his preferred position, the opposite spiker position. As now, Sapida, another middle blocker, just scored.
Well, obviously, Pudadera is acknowledging the fact that they can use the middles. They have the advantage. So, why not feed them?
How about Dewey Pudadera transitioning into being that main setter of PGJC Navy? Quite impressive with his quick stint so far. Push. Whistle blown.
Yeah, that was a good call because out of nowhere, all of a sudden, the net was shaking. So, Navy was pointing.
Tumama na, tumama na. They have a timeout, 63.
Dapat ma-check. Dapat ma-check. Importante ma-check.
Ayos. Tapatan mo na lang. Gala lang. Huwag mo na iwan kahit
Kasi malayo. Sundan mo lang siya.
Gala lang.
Ibabaw.
Paro.
Isa-isa lang. Tatlo lang yan. Tatlo lang yan.
Kaya na eh.
Go, go.
So in terms of momentum, it's been switching from one side to the other. Oh, you have a term for this. Anchors away. Anchors away.
Oh, you remember.
Yeah, in terms of momentum. We usually use that term for piso-piso. But in this case, it's It's Navy leading in sets 1 and 3, and Navigators in set 2. Let's see if that trend will change. Strong serve. De Pedro from the middle, in or out. It's a point for the Sea Lions.
No challenge. They're looking at their coach, Del Moro. No.
Nope. We haven't seen as many challenges in this game.
Yeah.
Which is also a big testament to the fine work by our referees and linesmen. Ooh, low on the next serve for Toto de la Vega.
The Navigators.
But you know, you like after they lost the second set, talking about Navy, you like that now they're like playing lighter and faster. They really started really slow in set number 2.
Sapida, about the lightness on his elevation. And he will send us to the first technical timeout, 8-4.
For the Navigators.
You're still watching the Spiker Surf 2024. Toto de Pedro talked about what could have gone wrong in that semis game. He was so excited. Talaga daw gising siya buong gabi at hindi daw talaga siya nakatulog. He tried everything but he just couldn't sleep. On game day, he tried to gather all of his energy but failed, which also caused him to lose his lakas ng loob, in his words. Sabi niya, alam niyo naman na pang crucial minutes ako, paborito ko yan, pero wala, out of touch talaga ako nun. This game though, he slept well, did a lot of trainings on his own, especially on blockings, and so let's see. He will be going home to Bacolod during off-season to eat kansi and chicken, and of course join a lot of tournaments there to improve even more. Migs, Mr. Reen.
First of all, that would make us hungry at the sideline. But napakain naman tayo ni Ate May, ang ating makeup artist, dahil birthday niya kahapon. Happy birthday to Ate Maylene Concepcion. But going back to Mika's report, as the other Bacolod nun just scored in Toto de la Vega, parang ano pa, sinasanay pa ni Toto de Pedro yung sarili niya on the big stage.
Yeah. I mean, he was really like fed, right, by his coach. He played big games, come up big when needed, crucial moments, like Mika said. That's not easy.
Yes.
That's really not easy.
Edward Camposano, hold at the back.
Down the line.
Boy, what a conference. What a conference it has been for Edward Camposano. I mean, we knew since he was from UE, then he transferred to NU. We knew he was so good already.
But it was the ACL that bothered him.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that he will continue to be healthy. The drop didn't work for Pudadera. Net touch, nagturuan. And it's Sumagaysay who prevailed in that previous battle.
So it's still between Sumagaysay and Kiel. There.
Ayun, nahuli. Okay. Just had to clear a wet spot. Big shout out to our staff here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Dayandante has 9 exited sets and he has been a game changer so far. But then again, the battle continues as Peter Gill, then again, just got some retribution.
Yep. They're really feeding the middles. Huh?
Yeah.
They're running the middles like crazy here in this third set.
Well, I did see those two talk with each other before this game. I wonder kung kasama yan, no? Kung pataasan sila ng puntos between Kiel and Sumagaysay. Now there's a block by, was it De La Vega?
Yeah, I think it was De La Vega. Boy, you like what you see from Engay. That was Engay, right?
Yeah. So Engay got the point off of the touch by Toto de la Vega. And then there's a service error
For the Navy.
by Edward Camposano.
You know, that's why it's so good for these players. If you don't start normally, you're like come off the bench or you use sparingly. When you're given the opportunity to actually start and get more minutes, you have to take advantage.
Oo, ito na yun.
Yeah.
Ito na yung matagal mong pinagdadasal. Cross-court target. Regalo para kay Renz Engay.
On cue.
Just making the most out of the opportunity. And if you think about it, he seems to be a well-capable attacker. Nandun yung elevation. You can see the speed.
Great timing.
Service in. Kalingking. Pudadera. Dolor. What a save by Sumagaysay. And a great hit by Toto De Pedro. Counter. Greg again. Got a hand. Sumagaysay keeping it alive. Back set. Engay. There was a touch. Also at the net.
Yep, and here come the Navigators. It's just a one-point game. But you like the reaction of JV Sumagaysay.
yeah.
So like,
Nagulat din siya.
What
Nakuha niya yung dig.
whatever works. Eh.
So this is the first comeback that we've seen so far in this game. Navy though has a quick answer. How about the set for Peter Kiel?
You know, we kept talking about the middles, right? And they're also doing it in defense as well. We talked about Sumagaysay keeping the ball in play. So it's still the two of them.
12 to 10. Engay, pambawi. What a game for Renz Engay.
And you're up against a great blocker in Greg Delor, but it's somehow he's so unfazed by Greg Delor. Look at that.
Engay, by the way, is still a student. He's young. Studying in Perpetual. Sapida scores again. So it's the middle blockers for Navy. 13-11, the tightest set that we have seen so far. Here's Toto de la Vega. 9 points, 8 attacks, and a block to his name. Ball up by Camposano. Nice receive.
Yeah.
Leading on to that middle hit. And there was a touch.
Gets a ball touch.
Do we have a
The
challenge?
Sea Lions.
Pudadera admitted he touched the ball. But that was a perfect pass by Camposano, I think, no?
You are correct. It's now 12 serving 13, a chance to tie. Toto De Pedro with good sleep for today, sending it in. Dolor blocked. No coverage for Navy, and we have a deadlock.
And you know, if the Navigators start blocking well, good things happen to that team.
It's Dayandante working together with Rash Nursidik. Oh, he wants to get to 10 blocks. 13 all. Ball up by Liok. Putadera back sets. De La Vega, down it goes.
De La Vega through the block.
Well, it's a very close third set. Right now, these two teams are just trading points.
Is it going to be the story for the rest of the match? Because, again, twice that, or in the 2 times that they faced each other in this conference so far, both reached 5 sets. And in the previous outing, the 5th set score was 20-18.
3 hours, man. Close.
2 and 40. Ball up by De Pedro, but that went straight to our patron section.
De Pedro.
Nice hit by Navy.
Yeah. Well, much needed. You know, if you're Navy, you want to create a little bit of separation here.
That's Omar Liok scoring from the left pin. It's 15-13. Attack points in set 3, a +2 for the Sea Lions. Nursidik again.
Nursidik with a quick push.
We talked about Kiel. We talked about Sumagaysay. What about Sapida and Nursidik?
There you go.
So the middles have been really active today.
There's the proud homegrown. He will now be serving, but you did mention he has to work on his serves. 3 blocks so far for Rash. Pudadera back sets. De La Vega, he's so used to that angle. And that will send us to our second technical timeout, 16-14.
And the second technical timeout.
The postseason of the association is finally here. Watch the 2024 NBA playoffs only on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, and Filipinas Live. Hashtag everything counts. Hashtag NBA on Signal. JV Sumagaysay cross court that went straight to zone number 5.
15 to 16.
I think, the setters are doing a great job in, acknowledging the fact that for both sides that the middles are actually effective. So if it ain't broken, don't fix it, don't change it, right? You can feel it. They're really going to the middles.
Dayandante now serving it in. Peter Kiel, middle hit again. He wants a touch. And the first referee saw it. Wala nang challenge para kay Coach George. Was ready for it already.
From Sumagaysay.
Sumagaysay just waited.
Now there's a big smile from JV. These guys are friends after all. 17-15. Pudadera, full front row. Adao, first ball. Dayandante, what a set.
Great dig.
That's by Jacqueline King. Pudadera. Lefty hit. Dig again. Kim Dayandante. Engay. Touch or not. In or out. It's a point for Navy.
Ball in, ball out.
Yeah, we have a challenge. Engay was convinced that it was in.
Navigators. Ball in, ball out.
There you go. A rare challenge in this game.
Ball out to Navigators.
But what a dig, no? What digs actually for both these teams. Dayandante with one, Kalingking with another.
Well, Kalingking, after all, is one of the best, not only for Navy and in the Spikers turf, but in the whole country. He's a national team player. Same goes for Kim Dayandante, who also played in the SEA Games before. That was out.
Ball is out.
Speaking
The
of Kim
challenge
Dayandante,
is
Mika Abisamis has a good story about him. Kanina, kala ko maririnig na natin eh. Pero mukhang kailangan pa natin antayin yan mamaya-maya if he plays well. That's usually the cue for our courtside reporters. 18-15. A push by Camposano. Pudadera. Peter Kiel. Hammer time.
Why not?
Timeout.
Again, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
15.
Here's the replay. 1-on-1. That's too easy for Peter Kiel. We have a timeout.
Kapit lang tayo.
Ito na lang sa quicker, kunin nyo yung pinakamalakas nilang anggulo. Para pag yun na lang sa amin, malambot. Yun na lang sarado nyo. Parang guide na lang. Dali na lang. Adjust ako. Tuloy lang natin. Walang bibitaw end game guys ha. Sige, kaya pa yan kayo. Asa na tayo ha. Hey, Nabi!
Noreen. Remember Papa Colon? What? Sean Ildefonso? Well, apparently he has a show now. Brace yourselves as athletes and sports lovers have no-holds-barred conversations with Sean Ildefonso. Watch Sean Time exclusive on the Filipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now. Alam mo, parami na ng parami yung athletes na may mga show. As Camposano scores on the right team. Pen, even Tots Carlos has a show now.
Really?
Yeah, it recently just released a trailer, so let's watch out for that. Malay mo, si Edward Camposano, magka-show na rin yan.
Malay mo,
anytime
ikaw
soon.
magka-show ka din.
We're happy here covering these players. 1916, Omar Leoc going cross.
Yeah, that clipped the line there. So good change-up, right, by Pudadera.
20-16 now. Remember, Navy had a good start. There was a bit of a chase by Navi. Now Navy is turning the tides once more. Service inside. Dayandante. Sumagaysay. Counter. Ooh!
Oh, still alive.
What a sequence. Chance ball. Kalingking will send it to the right. De La Vega got a hand at wala nang bawi doon para kay Kim Dayandante.
But what a save by Kiel. You know, he's on his way down, and then he still got it in play. The set that for that kill by Toto De La Vega. He set that up.
Now it's 21-16. Ball up by Camposano, not the best of receives, and it's Engay who got blocked by Dolor.
Yeah, and finally the blocking of Navy now working to their advantage. So here, the Navigators, you got to settle down here.
Liok will continue to serve. He stays efficient. Nice battle at the middle. Peter Kiel returning the ball. De Pedro outside. That was long.
De Pedro.
Peter Kiel just used one hand. Did you see that? He used one
Yes.
hand to stop that.
23-16. Jules Monte, Rachel Ustero, and Majoy Baron are here. They're ready to witness Navy, Navi, Signal, and crisscross all together. Dayan Dante back sets. Cross court for Engay. That's a point for him.
Engay.
That was deep. Yep, deep into the corner. And those hits are actually always the hardest to get, the line hits.
Navi still in this in set number 3, down by 6 points. JV Sumagaysay. Service in, ball up by Peter. Dolor, puelo pa lang. Puelo pa lang. Alam mo na.
Alam mo na.
Sea Lions now at set point.
The blocker was definitely late and it was just single coverage. Late na yung nasa gitna.
And if you see that approach, that lift, that hit, I mean, we talked about Greg Dolor, like he's been playing in FEU.
All right, bit of a throwback for us.
Throwback.
Same goes for Peter Kiel, although that was a missed touch from him. Nice block by Nursidik, recalculation. Push by De La Vega, counter, Adao sending it to Engay. Touch or not, yes, check ball.
Yeah, there was a check.
18-24.
Set point saved. But this is a tall mountain to climb for Renz Engay and company.
So first, they have to serve well.
Navigators.
That went in. Kalingking receives. Pudadera back sets. Toto De La Vega will put it away. There you have it. Set number 3 belongs to PGJC Navy. At hindi nagkakalayo yung scores natin. Sets 1-3.
16, 17, or 17, 16, 18.
18.
Yeah.
Let's see if Navi can still extend this matchup or will maybe take game number 1 in 4 sets. We'll be back.
Always be humble and respect the opponent. Yun yung dinadala ko hanggang ngayon eh. Respect. Kasi iba-ibang teammate yung nakasalamuha ko at iba-ibang team din na napasukan ko. Dapat kahit sino man yan or ano man yan, respeto pa rin. And be humble sa anumang bagay. Kung ano man narating mo sa buhay.
We're back inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Peter Kiel has been no less than excellent in this game. I did ask him, are you back to your peak form? Sabi niya, hindi pa. Kailangan pa magtrabaho. And so I asked him, kailan ba ang peak form mo? Sabi niya, so far, FU days pa rin.
Ginagawa mo ng timeline.
Parang ganun.
Make the chart.
Gusto kasi pangat na pangat yung kwento ni Peter Kiel. Pero binabalik niya pa lang as of this moment. We did see a good battle between middle blockers in set number 3.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect PGJC Navy to come back in the third set. You expected that. I'm sure after losing the second set, Coach George just gave everything that's on his mind, he will probably leashed it out or trashed the huddles there. And they responded. That's what you like. That's what you like from PGJC Navy. The starting six came out to play. For the Navigators, again, you know, you're down 2 men. We have to say that. And that always makes a huge difference, no? If you don't have your core. However, you did win the second set. Coming to the fourth set, you want to think, how did we win the second set? We're going to start with our blocking and then slowly but surely try to convert. And, you know, the middles as well for the Navigators.
Just to remind everybody, Francis Saura is out because of a knee injury, although Mika Amisamis did say that he's still working towards playing this coming Friday. So let's see kung kakayanin ni Francis Saura. Set number 4 commencing here inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Noreen Go. Ball up by Campusano. 1-2. Kim Dayandante.
You know Kim Dayandante, I remember that run of NU wherein there was Peter Denmar Torres, Vince Mangalapnan, and so on. Then after Vince left, your question was, who's going to be the next setter? Then it was Kim Dayandante.
Yes.
Then he made his way all the way to the national team, but then nawala siya. Parang everyone's like, at least for me, he's such a great setter.
He is.
Right?
And that was a nice set back to the left pin as the Navigators scored again. Good sportsmanship shown by Edward Campusano, who went all the way across to apologize to his opponent. Now it's a short serve by Dayandante, leading on to that hit by Omar Leon.
Navy scores 1.
Boy, Dayandante's serves really are short. Hindi talaga lalampas ng middle line.
He's always targeting, the short ones.
Service for Omar Leoc. Nice receive. It's a push by Edward Campusano on the fast play.
Here come Navi.
They're trying to give us a replay of set number 2.
And the previous meetings between both these teams that went the distance.
Right. Pudadera chases. Set up onto the left. Nice dig by Takeda. Ooh, miscue. De Pedro with a collision alongside Dayandante. They have to recover now. Down the line target for Greg Dolor. Everybody's just concerned about De Pedro and Dayandante.
Dolor.
Well, you did say early on you witnessed a collision between Calado and Casanya. I'm sure that instance or that incident kind of stuck to the minds of these players.
Ooh. Okay.
Little whiplash there, huh?
Yeah. But they're both okay now. They're good to go. Dayandante, Sumagaysay, he loves that no look. His body tilted right, but he attacks onto the left.
Yeah, that's a great example of, you know, making do with your sets, even if you have to do the no look, the twist, the contouring of your body.
Wala pa naman nag-go 180, di ba? Hindi pa naman ganong level.
Wala.
Merong umiiwas with their head, but now we shall continue. Dayandante to the right. Engay, cross court.
Good dig.
That's by Louis Pudadera. Push to the right. De La Vega rejected, but that went outside. It's a point off the block.
Boy, De La Vega thrives with those sets, no? The out-of-system sets. Then the ones that you think, oh, it's so near the net, he's gonna go over. Then he just manages to score. He did that to end set number 3. Another set that you thought was too near the net.
He's that good.
Yeah.
Or is it the height?
He's that good.
He's that good. Simple as that. Toto De La Vega will now be serving. 3-4. Strong serve.
Wow.
Straight to the line.
Corner pocket.
He's been going for his serves and not too successful, but he was waiting for that ace.
We have a deadlock at 4. A mini huddle there for PGJC Navy. De La Vega called upon by the first referee to now serve. Toto had a look to Coach George Pascua. Now he sends that ball straight to the other Toto. Dursidik pushes. Nice save by Kalingking. Chance ball on the other end. Adao sending it to the right. Engay got a touch. Leoc keeping it alive. Louis, Joven, cross court.
Dig.
That's Dayandante. Engay again. Wow! What a follow-through.
Down the line.
I was actually surprised that Greg Delore decided not to block, and then Sapina just pulled down his arms. And look at this.
Yeah.
Engay said, "Oh, you don't respect me, huh?"
Engay now just served that ball inside. Red play, nice block. Pudadera pushing to the left. Nice block. Again, now Nursidik is pointing that the ball sailed inside off of his touch.
By the Navigators for ball in,
He
ball
went
out.
from the left side to the right side.
Number 1, ball in, ball out.
I'm actually looking at Greg Delore, seeing what his reaction is.
Okay, so the challenge will continue. Ball in, ball out is the concern. And again, later on, we have game number 1 of the finals between Signal HD versus Crisscross. All the while, we have UAAP volleyball happening inside the Araneta Coliseum. 2 men's matches and 1 women's game. You also have the PVL tomorrow. What a week for
What a
Philippine
week,
volleyball.
Yeah. For the last 2 weeks.
Right. Okay, in or out? That was in. Challenge
Ball is in.
successful.
The challenge is
Nursidik
successful.
now flexing onto Noringo. He was definitely correct.
Good decision. I mean, he did see it.
Serving.
6-4. Navi on top. Service out though. Very
Service
anticlimactic.
5-6.
1 point advantage. There's Rash Nursidik.
Greg Delore.
One of the homegrowns, one of the initial players of Iloilo the Navigators before all of their recruits in the past couple of conferences. But they've always been in the top 4. Same case for PGJC Navy. That was long for Greg Delore.
+1 for the Navigators.
Well, Navy, you have to be careful with these errors. You don't want to be giving the Navigators that same new life that they found in set number 2.
Toto De Pedro serving for Iloilo.
7 serving 5. Toto De Pedro. Ooh, Mr. C, that's an ace for Toto De Pedro. And he says 2 points tackle off of that service line.
He targeted Greg Delore there.
We have a timeout, technical timeout, 8-5.
You're still watching the Spikers Turf 2024. Kim Dayandante reminded his teammates na they cannot lose focus like how they did in the semis. He reminded them na pareho naman tayo ng skill sa kanila. Dito lang talaga sa final sets nagkakatalo. Nabibigyan natin ang Navy ng confidence for a similar finish. Let's not kill the momentum. Kim has several ways of relaxing. As you can see, he's very hyped up today on stressful days. One of which is watching his old NU games, which I caught him doing in the dugout earlier today. Another one would be playing drums, which he did after that loss last weekend. Pero sabi niya, ayoko na mag-isip ng nakaka-relax muna sa ngayon. Kasi gusto ko ayokong kumalma yung teammates ko. Gusto ko mag-set para ganahan sila. Migs, Mr. Rin.
I did mention, na-miss natin si Kim Dayandante after a couple of years in NU and in the national team, as now that attack sailed inside for Omar Leoc. And maybe he was busy doing that moonlighting with drums back in his day. It's good to know, though, how focused he is. And for him to review his college self for the battle for bronze, that could be a good way for the other players as well to keep on motivating themselves.
Wow.
You know, this guy could just be also reviewing his high school self, Edward Camposano.
Boy, you see that, the journey of these players really, and where they find strength, they go back to that, the roots, no?
Serving for the Navigators.
Pwede pang hugutan ng kumpiyansa muli. Nice serve. Back row hit. Practically a chance ball. Sumagaysay pushes. Bit of a scramble. Free ball again. JV, same play. Scramble again.
Good dig.
Another chance. Camposano had to recalculate. Nice off speed. Pudadera onto the left. Omar Leoc. Long rally. The drummer will send it to Engay. Onto the back row of the other end. Pudadera. That's Peter Kiel. Rejected. Longest rally so far. Pipe. Got a hand. Dayandante. Camposano. Cross court.
It's still ongoing.
Spinning set, cross court, Engay with a dig, Camposano, tip! Oh, that was beautifully placed by Edward Camposano.
That was the longest rally in this match so far. And quality, high quality, great digs until Camposano just playing it smart.
The placement was just exact for Edward Camposano. It's a 3-point advantage for Navi.
Hindi ko naman kunin nito kasi wala nang gusto wala nang gusto mag-initiate eh. Tapos ang drop niyo yung isang gitna, di ba? Tapos tayo ka agad, pwesto ka agad.
Tapos na guys,
sige, one good reset na tayo, one good reset. Patake tayo ulit. Sige, ma.
Panggising muli para kay Coach George Pascua. His team is down by 3, and there you see a couple of our PVL players at the sideline. Majoy Baron, Rachel Lustero, Del Palomata, Jules Samonte, that's Erica Santos, and Jovi Prado. Mga PLDT pala yan. Nagsama-sama.
Roll call ka, ha?
Oh, yeah.
3 points up for the Navigators.
We even have Audrey Paran there as well. But she's from Galleries Tower. Ball up for Navy, not the best of receives. Toto de la Vega, straight to the back. Engay with a dig. Camposano again, he's feeling it.
Yes. And the Andante's just playing it smart.
I will wait for that day when Edward Camposano would once again claim that he's back to his high school form. In terms of his confidence, in terms of the skills that he's able to display, or maybe even better. Peter Kiel.
Yeah, I'm sure it's better because this is a different level already.
Yeah. Maturity should be there. All the experience for Wawa. Now there's a double touch.
Rare setting error there by Kim De Andante. He is human after all.
Yes.
Serving for PGJC.
No relaxation. Recalculation. Sumagaysay couldn't score. Omar Leoc blocked. There's the net defense that you've been wanting from Navi. Ooh, risky fall there. The ball sailed outside for Toto de la Vega.
Net touch.
It's a net touch.
Well, because the ball was brushed off the blocker's hand, it was going up, chances are it was a net violation. Because the ball would not land immediately after that.
So the point belongs to the Navigators Iloilo. It's now 12-8. Just behind Kim Dayandante are Carlo Pamintuan and Ronnie Magsanok. They will join Mika Abisamis later on to cover Game 1 of the finals between Crisscross and Signal. There's Peter Kiel scoring from the middle again.
Yeah, wasting no time and getting the points back. They need that. Because if you're PGJC Navy, you don't want a fifth set. You don't want 5 sets. You want to end this in 4 and just take home the bronze.
Well, Navy does know about momentum entering the 5th set. They had that momentum in their previous game, as now it's a service error for Omar Leoc.
Boy, they're becoming their worst enemies. Their own enemies with the errors.
Pudadera onto the quick. Takeda with a read. One-handed set. De Pedro sent back. Easy ball. Good read by Navy. Oh, that's low for Toto de la Vega.
14.
Another error.
Coach George with some advice for Toto de la Vega on the swing.
Serves Camposano.
It's now 14 serving 9. Edward Camposano sending it in. Kalingking, nice receive. There you go. It's all worth it. Peter Kell again.
But this game alone, we've seen a lot of one-handed, attempts to save the ball. Sometimes it hits the palm. So it goes to show really, as long as it's not lifting, it's a good ball.
On the other end, it's De Pedro targeting down the line.
Finally getting a point for the Navigators.
Yan ang sanay. Kung placement ng usapan as a beach volleyball player. He was actually mostly a beach volleyball player before playing in the Spikers turf. Talking about Toto De Pedro. Sumagaysay with the help of the net. Almost an ace. Backset. Pambawi para kay Toto. Not yet.
Good stop.
That's the Andante. Engay to the back. Louis. Left. Cross court for Greg Delor.
Well, if you're Greg Delor, you're hoping that's going to pump the entire team up.
And it's been a while, right, since he has scored?
Yes. Yeah, because, we have to say, we have to acknowledge the fact that the Navigators' defense stepping up here in set number 4. They want the 5th set.
15-11. Ball up by Camposano. Back set. Engay. Yes. What a game for Renz Engay.
Yeah. Everybody contributing for the Navigators.
No Francis Saura. No problem for Renz Engay. Now it's 16-11. Second technical timeout.
End of the second. Technical timeout.
Ito na naman po tayo sa top tier games today. There you go, UAP Season 86 and Spikers Turf 2024. Also, we have another comment. Ayaw magpakabog sa isa't isa. Ang UAP, PBL at Spikers Turf. Noringo was actually just looking at the results of the UAP. Praying for injury-free games later. God bless teams. That's Lance De Castro. Amen to you, oh captain, my captain of the Ateneo Blue Eagles. We did see that UST just defeated the number 1 seeded FEU Tamaraos in the men's division of the UAAP. So we have the rematch of last year's finals.
Yes. And you await the result for the women's.
Alam mo maganda dyan? Of course, FEU still in the women's division will have a big say about it as Toto De Pedro scores and turns around to celebrate. If it's both NU and UST in the men's and the women's,
that's crazy fun.
That could be a big chance for men's volleyball to be recognized all the more.
Yeah.
Because the fans will merge.
Yes. For sure.
Oh, that was long. Powerful but long for Edward Camposano.
We saw the flight of the ball, pahaba.
Oo. Apologies from Edward Camposano, the former NU Bulldog and UE Junior Red Warrior. It's 17-12. Greg Delor now doing the honors. Jump serve inside. Wawa the target. De Pedro, he's feeling it. The Andante, Nursidik.
Wow.
What a set by the middle blocker. Regalo. And there you go. It's all worth it.
Boy, Nursidik with that set, he's really showing us he's in a different level here in this conference.
That's a middle blocker. And normally, I hate to say the word normally, but middle blockers are prone to double contact.
And that was a jump set.
Yes. And his Bacolod non just made it all worth it in Toto De Pedro. Now there's a net touch by Rash Nursidik.
Say we're talking about him too much.
Napangiti. Humihingi ng bawi itong si Rashnur Siddiq. Ayun, pababa. His body was twisting towards the right. 18-13. Sapida, safe serve. Adao, still not the best of receives. That's Engay from the back and it's low.
Well, if you're D Navigators, you want to shake it off, okay? 2 errors here on your side, but you still have a pretty comfortable 4-point lead.
Did you reference Taylor Swift?
Nope.
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 Okay na sana eh. Player's gonna play. 18-14. Sapida sending it in. Adao receives. Battle at the net. Dayandante will send it through. Chance ball. They send it to the right. Villanueva.
Oh, good
dug
save.
up. Dayandante. Camposano. Cross. There's a touch.
You like that reaction by Edward Camposano. You said it. He's feeling it, and until now.
Sabi niya, ang sakit nung tinry niyang i-block yung hit ni Marvin Villanueva. That's some good sportsmanship between the two attackers. 19-14. Nursidik sending it in. Jairami, Villanueva. This is their second unit, and there's a net touch.
Yeah, that's a great drop there by Villanueva. Really catching the Navigators off guard.
So the second unit combo will now sub out. Double sub pabalik sina Toto de la Vega at Louis Pudadera. There's the error.
He was gliding towards the antenna. That's why he couldn't stop his momentum there.
19-15. Sumagaysay unable to answer back. Good block by Navy.
Yeah, I think that was Kiel got a hand at that. Well, they want to chase if you're a PGJC Navy.
I'm starting to sense the shifts in body languages in this game. Ooh, nice save by De Pedro. Chance ball. A lot of time for Louis Pudadera. He will go to the open. Cross court hit for Omar Leon.
That's a great set. You know, Navigators were expecting either Kiel or De La Vega, and they give it to Leok. Look at that. One blocker.
Nice motion as well to the folding of his body. The lead is down to 2.
Labang pa tayo guys, ha? Labang pa tayo, ha? Labang pa tayo.
Gawin natin paraan.
1 kill. 1 kill tayo, 1 kill kuya. 1 kill, 1 kill. Sino rin niya totoo? Pumunta na sa loob.
Pasa kami, pasa.
Good pass ha. Go. Hey, Navi!
There you go. The emergency button for Coach Boyet Del Moro. The lead is down to 2 points, 17 serving 19 in set number 4. Navy is trying to close this game out. Dayandante, Sumagaysay. Nice dig by Kalingking. Back row, pipe hit, successful for Greg Dolor.
Yeah, they're feeling it now. We kept saying Navigators feeling it earlier, but Navy, what about Navy? Just trimming this lead to just 1.
18 serving 19. Full front row for Louis Pudadera.
Whoa.
With the help of the net, that was almost an ace. Off speed for Camposano. Chance ball, Louis. Quick, Peter Kiel, read well. One more. This time, it's Joven de la Vega. Blocked. Coverage present. Push. Adao puts it up. Dayandante. Camposano off speed again. Nice dive by Pudadera. Back row. Straight to zone 1 for Greg Dolor.
Boy, you know, you have to say Navy just was so focused in that point that they kept that ball. I thought it was already a stuffed block.
How about Greg Dolor coming alive at the perfect time?
Back to back.
Yes. In their last game, he started coming alive in set number 3 as immorted by Mika. And he scored 30 points. Pushed by Camposano. That did not work. De La Vega blocked. Coverage by Greg. And it's Peter Kiel. Wow, what a sequence. Now Navy has the lead.
Now, top by 1.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's working, what's clicking for Navy right now is their coverage. They're keeping the ball in play, and then great setting by Pudadera.
Service. Pudadera.
20-19. Pudadera sending it in, and it's Camposano. Nice approach, down the line target.
Down the line.
Edward Camposano ain't done yet.
Ain't done yet.
That's when you're looking at him play. He's really just trying his all. He's trying his best just to, try to bring or drag his team across the finish line of set number 4.
Well, Camposano did score 23 in their previous outing. Let's see if he can surpass that in this game. Liok, big bounce. A chase by Takeda. Dayandante. Camposano, chance ball, lot of time. They send it to Omar. Blocked, coverage present. Louis, pipe, Greg Dolor, tough dig. Takeda with a chase. He crashes onto their bench, and that goes outside.
Ball is out.
Yeah, I see the chairs on the ground. So good effort by Takeda.
Here's the replay, a monstrous hit by Greg Dolor. Great effort, just not enough for John Maru Takeda. Second ball, sailing wide.
Well, if we talked about Camposano trying to bring his team, what about Dolor here at this stage of the 4th set?
Ooh, service outside though for Omar Liok. We have a deadlock at 21.
Something's gotta give. We're gonna see. At this point, we're seeing both teams. They're feeling it, right?
Yes.
Both teams, they're in this set, so it's going to be a very exciting finish or mad dash.
At the net, it's Greg Dolor who prevails. He got a touch from one of his blockers. Navy has the advantage. Timeout, Navi.
Sigurado lang, ha? Sigurado ang tayo. Alagaan niyo yung middle nila. Hindi naman hindi naman malakas ang bola, tinutulak lang ang bola. Sipati nyo na yung magkabilang gilid.
Gotta wake up if you're Iloilo, the Navigators. Navy is 3 points away from getting game number 1 in the battle for bronze. Yeah, Peter Kiel getting ready to serve. Oh, he was cooled off by that timeout.
Yeah, well, it was a floater serve. He forgot that final brush to bring it down.
For the Navigators.
JV Sumageysay now with the honors. A virtual race to 3 in set 4. Kalingking, Pudadera, back to Greg Dolor, a chase. Dayandante keeping it alive. Chance ball, Jack, Louis, back to Greg, outside. That went wide.
Boy, he went for too much. Obviously, he wanted that, but yep, the execution. And the Navigators have the lead.
Timeout, Coach George Pascua.
Wala ka ng block. Di ba, nandun naman yung mati. Sige, pabayang paluin. Pagka sobrang liis yun doon, nakailalim kayo sa outside. Sige lang. Ang kundrisip muna tayo. Sige, connect mo ulit. Puts, bigay sa quick pagka ano. Ngayong single block na, kung diretsuhin mo yung palo. Huwag kayong matakot, magdalawang isip. Paluin ninyo. Naintindihan? Hindi nasa area ka. Ano bang gagawin? Ilinis mo. Huwag nang ilinis. Pag sinabi kong palo, kahit saan direksyon pa, paluin ninyo. Lakasan yung palo ninyo. Walang outside.
That was actually the same reminder that Coach George Pascua had for Greg Dolor. Huwag kang matakot sa palo mo. He's been committing errors here and there in the preliminaries. That's why he wasn't able to achieve his usual numbers. But then he started to get his groove in their previous game. Same goes in this matchup. But now they're down by 1. And forced errors in this set, 6-all. Oh! Short for JV Sumageysay.
Boy, how huge will that error be for the Navigators?
So it's 2 errors off of timeouts. Now it's a virtual race to 2. 23-all. Toto de la Vega, 16 points. Service in. Camposano receives. Dayandante back sets. Engay could not score. Pudadera. That's low for Toto de la Vega.
Boy, you know, I think nerves setting in, error setting in for both these teams.
Set point, the Navigators Iloilo. Either we will have an extended set number 4 or we will have a set number 5.
You know, I don't envy Pudadera. Your top 2 gunners actually just gave you 2 hitting errors.
Back set, Pambawi, De La Vega couldn't do so. Good effort by Camposano. De Pedro pushing it. On the other end, Pudadera, Greg Dolor, ball up. Onto the patron section, we have a deadlock.
And look at that reaction from Greg Dolor. But right before that set, if you're Pudadera, Greg Dolor just committed a hitting error, and Toto de la Vega, who am I going to give it to? He gave it, that's his answer. Dolor.
24 all, extended set number 4. Now Greg Dolor is at the back row. Signature jump serve straight to the net. Set point, Iloilo, the Navigators.
Navigators at set point advantage once more.
I love that reaction.
It's an error-prone 4th set. At least this end, the end to this 4th set.
We did see the numbers just a while ago at 6 all. So they continue to increase. De Pedro serving for the set. That's inside. Pudadera. Back row. Toto.
Whoa.
The other Toto with the dig. And it's Engay from the back. Coverage present. Adao going to the left. Camposano is blocked. And that sailed inside. What a rejection by PGJC Navy.
Come on, that was Edward Camposano. Who got a hat? I wanted to see. It was Pudadera.
The setter for Navy was worked with his athleticism, his conditioning for years already. 25 all, another service error. That is number 6 for Navy in this set alone.
Navigators get a 3rd chance.
Well, actually, for both these teams, the errors just piling up here at the end.
We've seen 2 service errors on the other end for the Navigators Iloilo, and we have Rashnur Sidik now doing the honors. Set point for the blue shirts. Ball up for Greg Pudadera. Toto de la Vega, cross score. Deadlock again, 26 all.
You know, that was a smart hit by Toto de la Vega targeting Nur Sidik. Although Nur Sidik has been giving us good digs, but yeah, that's your best bet.
You do challenge the floor defense of the middle blocker at the back row. 26 all. Full front row for Louis. Pudadera setting it in. Camposano receives. Edward again. Yes.
He gets it through. And this one is Toto de la Vega.
Set point advantage again.
27-26.
He likes to pick on someone his own size. He doesn't like the shorter ones. They block him. He likes Toto de la Vega.
The Navigators again with a set point. Full front row. Short serve. Pudadera onto the open. De La Vega dug up by Adao. A chase for Dayandante. Camposano. Cross score outside.
Goes wide.
Boy, his objective really, Camposano, was to hit it off the blockers, right? He just went for the blockers and somehow, some way, kind of missed the hands.
Another deadlock. 27 all in set number 4. Omar Liok. He's in double figures. He sends that ball outside. It was really long. Service error number 7 for Navy in this set.
At the moment the ball left the hand of Liok, I knew it was outside.
For the Navigators once more.
Set point again for the Navigators Iloilo.
Yeah, but if you're Iloilo, how many chances are you going to be given to get this set?
Safe serve, Pudadera. Greg Dolor. The ball goes to Maringo. Another deadlock.
We're tied at 28.
Boy, okay. Back to square one. We are 28 all.
So we're going to reach the magic number 30 in set number 4. Navy has to be careful with its serves. There you go. It's in. Dayandante. De Pedro. Got a hand. Here's the counter. Pudadera to the open. Greg Dolor. Deflected. Dayandante back sets. Engay. Inside. We have a challenge.
Yeah, they're gonna challenge.
Ball in, ball out.
Ball in, ball out. Challenge number 1. Ball in, ball
Either
out.
it's set point again for Navi or match point for Navy. Let's see what the result will be.
That was pretty close.
Yes.
But I'm gearing towards in, I think.
Well, the linesman said that it was
But
in.
I actually couldn't see it. It's more of from the hit.
The trajectory.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
inside. He absolutely caught the line. Set point again
Unsuccessful
for the Navigators Iloilo. The challenge was unsuccessful for Navy. That's Coach George Pascua.
You know, these two teams, the first 3 sets kind of a bit slow, and then when the crowd started to build here, this is when the intensity
Yes.
came for both these teams. They like to play for the crowd.
29-28. Service in. Greg Dolor. Pampawi na naman.
Tied at the... What a game. What a set. What a set. It goes to show how these two teams can actually play.
Oh, yes.
If they put their heart into it.
29 all. De La Vega has 17 points to his name. Service inside. Nice receive by Camposano. Back set. Engay. Check ball.
Guy gets a ball touch.
Boy, Engay has been steady, solid, consistent for the Navigators.
Well, he just got a round of applause from Francis Saura, who's just behind us. Set point. The Navigators, 30-29. Service in.
Sapida.
From the middle, it's Wilbert Sapida.
And a stare down after that. The flexing of the muscles.
It's been a while since we've seen an attack from a middle blocker.
That's true. That they've been going to the wings.
30 all, Greg Dolor. 14 points after having 30 in their previous game.
He needs to get a serve in. That's a better serve.
Camposano receives. Nursidik. Coverage by De Pedro. Here's Toto. Ooh, outside. And the Navigators will challenge. They want that card. They need to have the right card.
They have
net touch. It was actually Nursidik and Toto De Pedro who were both yelling at their assistant coach.
Look, everyone's laughing. The coach, the bench.
Net ball to Navigators.
But then again, you have to get the right card. Ayan, si Coach Boy, tuwan-tuwan na rin.
Because like 3 players started talking at the same time. Challenge. Comic relief to this otherwise intense 4th set.
Nakakaba rin pala maging assistant coach.
And imagine 3-4 players look at you barking instructions.
Okay, net touch or not? Malinis.
It was clear.
Okay, now we have a match point for PGJC Navy. This would be their first in this game.
At least for Coach Delmore, he got a good laugh.
Oh, yeah.
He had a great laugh.
We all had a good laugh.
Match
31 serving 30. Match point for Greg Dolor and company.
Number 16.
This is for game number 1 in the battle for bronze. Dolor sending it in. De Pedro receives. Nursidik got a hand. Deadlock at 31.
The hit out.
Boy, the element of surprise that Tayan Dante is injecting into this set, it's crazy. I mean, right? You go to Nursidik, you go to Camposano, keeps guessing. You know, talk about Navy.
Even so, De Pedro had a hit in their previous sequence. Now Toto will serve it. In or out? It was outside.
It was out. I was looking at the reaction of Dolor. He followed it.
At match point once more.
And Coach George Pascua was jumping
17
as he was celebrating. Now we have a service specialist in Jepoy Alicando.
You know why he was jumping?
Why?
In his mind, this is how it feels pala if your opponents give you service errors. Because we've been giving it and now we're taking it.
Match point. Alicando sending it in. This is a big one. Camposano. Oh! Bit of a scramble. De La Vega sending it through. Down with the dig. Engay. Free ball. Louis recalculating. It's inside.
finds the spot.
We have a challenge. Might as well.
Might as well, might
There's
as
a
well.
challenge.
But
On the
yeah,
floor.
that looked good for Peter Kiel.
For ball in.
What a push to zone number 1.
Challenge number 1.
What a set to Peter Kiel, right? Championship, well, bronze medal, point. Boy, but that was a great set.
But we did see good activations at the middle lately.
Yeah.
That is super in. There you go. PGJC Navy with a comeback win here in set number 4. Challenge unsuccessful. And again, they will have the number of Iloilo, the Navigators. This time, not in a 5-set fashion. But boy, what a set number 4 that was, reaching 30 points.
And I must say, after the Navigators looked at the challenge and they knew they lost the match, I saw claps and smiles like, good job. We
Yes.
tried. It was a great set, great 4th set. One of the best so far.
How about Renz Engay stepping up with the injured Francis Saura? On the other end, Greg Dolor came alive at the perfect time. He's turning out to be Mr. Clutch for PGJC Navy. And the setters, you've been very impressed with Kim Dayandante and Louis Pudadera.
For game 1 of the finals.
Later on, you'll see who the best player is. He's been consistent all game long. But there you see our final tally, 33-31 in set number 4.
Yeah, what a set. I mean, can you imagine if only we had that kind of set from 1 to 3?
From 1
it
to
would
3.
be a great day for volleyball.
Oh, it would have been a longer game for us. Now, we have Mika Abisamis, who is with our best player of the game.
Thank you very much. I am with the best player of the match na si Peter Kiel. Peter, composure ang isa sa reminder sa inyo ni Coach George para sa match na to. At nung 4th set nga, pagkatapos ng lahat ng palitan na yun ang pinakita nyo. Anong masasabi mo?
Siguro, kaya nasabi ni Coach George yun kasi parang nag-relax yung bawat isa. Hindi na nagko-connect sa bawat isa kaya nasabi siya yun ni Coach George.
Pero Peter, hindi pa tapos ang laban. Meron pa ulit game sa Friday. Bukod sa composure, ano pa ba ang mga kailangan paghandaan para sa game na yun?
Siguro, ang palaging sinasabi ni Coach George, enjoyin nyo lang yung laro kasi unti na lang yung time para makapag-training. Yung skills nandyan naman eh. Pero yung enjoyment at saka composure, yun yung nawawala sa amin minsan. At saka binabati ko pala yung si Mr. and Mrs. Brian, Capain, Tita Helen, Lisoy, Tito Jason, Carmichael, and Tito Philip Santos. Yan naman.
Alright, maraming salamat. Peter Kiel is the best player of this match. Balik sa inyo, Migs, Mr. Reen.
Thank you, Mika. So it was the game winner for Peter Kiel, but also his consistency from set number 1 up until the very end, attacking from the middle. It was such a nice option in this game for Louis Pudadera.
Well, you know, what I'm happy about for Peter Kiel is it's such a breakout conference for him. You know, slowly but surely he was getting better and then he's been getting Player of the Game award.
Oh, yes.
And so deserving because you know how much effort these players put into their craft. And let's look at some numbers. A very, very close 4th set, 33-31. The difference, really, attacks by 2, blocks by 1. Errors, you know, really very little difference between the two, but PGJC was just able to carve a win here. And Navigators, you have to be happy because you didn't have Francis Saura,
right,
and yet you stretched it to 4 sets.
But you're gonna have to pray for his return or a victory in 4 sets or better this coming Friday in order to get the quotient to your favor. Up next, we have game number 1 of the finals. It's the Signal HD Spikers taking on the Crisscross King Crunchers. Thank you for joining us. For Mika Abisamis and Ringo, my name is Mix Gomez. And remember, we have a lot more to go. It has been a beautiful week for Philippine volleyball. It's Crisscross versus Signal, game 1, right up next.